Joined now by the head coach of the Mavericks, Mike Hastings. Mike, the Mavericks coming off a weekend up at Lake Superior State and going to welcome Michigan Tech here. So your thoughts on the weekend in the Sioux, and then with the Huskies coming to town this weekend, what are we in store for there with them?
Yeah, you know what? I thought the weekend up in Lake State was a typical CCHA road series where if you're not really good for the entire weekend, you're fortunate to get a split, and you're definitely not going to get a sweep. And about on Friday night, we had opportunities to tie a game and try and get that into overtime, but couldn't capitalize. Want to give their goaltender credit for that, and we just couldn't find a way to get one. And then on Saturday, I thought we rebounded pretty well, got a better start, were able to play with a lead, and finish the game very well. So for us, getting a split on the weekend on the road, it was a positive weekend for us getting points. And so now we've been back home. We've got a little bit of rest. I think we're going to be playing one of the best teams, not only in the CCHA, but in the country. I think they've got incredible depth up front. They've got experience, talent. They can play heavy. They've got a defensive core where you look at, a couple of guys back there that I think can dance offensively, and they do it by committee. And I think they've got outstanding goaltending and great special teams. And you combine that with a coaching staff that I think is very detailed in what they do. They play with a lot of energy. I think they're going to be a very difficult out. But we're excited about playing at home and look forward to playing a real quality opponent in Michigan Tech.
Great. Thanks for that, Mike. We have questions for Mike Hastings, please. Raise your hand. Daniel, you're up.
Hey, Coach. Last weekend we saw a bunch of guys see their first collegiate game. Rancier, Edwards, just to name a couple. Do you want to talk a little bit about their performance and who we might be seeing this weekend?
Sure. Keenan Rancier ended up getting his first start. I wish we could have given him, and I said it out after the game on Friday, I wish we could have given him a little bit of support. We asked him to be perfect, and he was close to perfect. The first one was the first collegiate shot on net was a breakaway to Louis Bedoin, who I think is not only probably a first-team selection in the CCHA, but a potential All-American, really good hockey player. Comes down and makes it 1-0, a shorthanded goal. From that point on, he made a couple of saves that were difference makers. And what I mean by that is not the game, because we still lost the game, but it gave us an opportunity to tie it. It kept them at 1. And so I thought he played very well. Stephen Bellini, who's from around the Sioux, we got his first taste of collegiate hockey, and I thought played well. Didn't play major minutes, but in the minutes that he played, I thought he did his job. You look at Will Hillman on Saturday getting his first taste of college hockey and played well. Even saw some 4-on-4 ice time during that game. And, for us, when, a guy like Tanner Edwards, who's gone through a lot, and what I mean by that is he had a knee injury previously that took him out for an entire season. And he's been working incredibly hard. And for him to go out and score a goal in his game and it to be a real important goal for us. Unfortunate that he ended up taking a major penalty and not being able to play the rest of the game. But I thought Eddie did a real good job at taking advantage of his opportunity. And so we need, as all teams do during a pandemic, during this type of season with flu and different things that can stop teams from having a full roster, you need your depth. And our depth came through for us, I think, on Saturday.
Kevin, do you have a question?
Mike, excuse me. I know that you had some key guys out last weekend, and some other guys who were also, a little under the weather that were playing through it. As far as the guys that missed, Napravnik, Sauter, Morton, Hirose, any update at this point on how those guys are looking for this weekend?
Yeah, we had everybody that was, everybody that's on the roster was skating today, and no restrictions, jersey color or anything like that. So that was a very productive day, but we've got everybody that's available for the weekend. Hopefully they can stay that way through Friday.
You have another question, Kevin?
Mike, just Tech, you look at them and it just seems like everybody they play, it's battle. I think all their losses have been by one goal. And, you talk about the experience. Do you think in this league, they're as tough out as you can find right now?
Well, I think there's quite a few teams that are tough outs, but I'll take that question and answer it this way. When the preseason poll came out, and as a coach, you have to fill out who you think is going to be the league champion. And my vote was for Michigan Tech. And it's because of the things that we've already discussed. You look at Grossman, you look at what they have up front, the experience that they have, the size, strength, experience. You look at their blue line, and then you go to Piella, who's right around 920. They're one of the best defensive teams in the country. They're one of the best penalty kills in the country. They're scoring now. I think they're very well coached. They're disciplined. You mix all that together with special teams, and it's a difficult out. I think they're one of the better teams, like I said, not only in the CCHA, but in the country. They go out to Clarkson and play Clarkson incredibly tough, and that's out in Clarkston's ice. So I've got a lot of respect for Joe, what he does, their staff. I think it's a great opportunity for us to be tested as tough as we've been tested this year.
Tim, would you like to ask a question?
Yes, Coach, I'm just thinking that tough loss on Friday, there was a goal that was called back. Does that motivate you guys? Say, hey, look, those were 3 points in the standings, and make you want to just get hungry and go out for more? I know you had a great statement game on Saturday.
Yeah, we can't get those back, and we asked the guys multiple times during the season to focus on what they get in control. And right now for us, that's our preparation for Tech. I thought we did a good job, and I appreciate you saying what you said about Saturday's game. I thought that was a really important game for us because of the way Friday ended. And, we just didn't do enough, and you got to give Lake State credit. It stung a little bit being shut out, whether it's at home or on the road. And so for us to answer the way that we did on Saturday was a positive. But yeah, we're looking, we're just, you turn the page in this league. If you don't, you're going to miss some other points that might be available to you. And so Tech's definitely got our full attention, and right. So
before we bring in Benton Mass, senior defenseman, time for one more question with Mike, if anybody has one. Go ahead, Kevin.
Mike, just one more about Keenan. To go in like that, I mean, I know that preparation you talk about, guys need to be ready for that opportunity, because if they're not, when they get it, it's going to pass them by. Talk about what he did to prepare for that opportunity.
Well, I probably can't give you everything that I've experienced with the young man from the positive, but I'll give you a couple. Last night we had an event here for a group, and it was held here at our facility, and it started at 6:30 at night. The guys had already left. They'd been done with practice and had moved on, and they were moving on to their studies and different things. But about 7:30, we were doing it in our lounge, and lights came on in our weight room, and Keenan's in there getting an extra lift in, an extra workout. He prepares every day like he's going to get the start. He pushes Dryden McKay and Andrew Miller in practices every single day. I just see a professional preparation in what he does every day. And I think he does that in life. You see him when we have our workouts here in the mornings. He's one of the first guys here. He's doing an outstanding job in the classroom. He's earned the guys' respect because of the way he handles his business, both on and off the rink. And so he's doing everything that he can to make sure that he's prepared, and he was. And that game could have got out of hand. I know we still didn't find a way to get one, but we only had to get one to tie it. And it was because Keenan Rancier was prepared for that opportunity.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Congratulations on Tanner Edwards getting CCHA Player of the Week. And then we announced some Players of the Month in the CCHA as well, with Jake Livingstone and Dryden McKay picking up honors. And best of luck against Tech this weekend.
Thank you.
Okay. Joined now by senior defenseman Benton Mast. Benton, new to the program, not new to college hockey or the state of hockey. Tell us a little bit about your experience here at MSU and your first year with the Mavericks.
Yeah, I know it's been great. Obviously, a lot of really successful weekends so far. And that's something that this program's used to, and I'm glad I'm able to, be a part of that moving forward here. It's awesome. I mean, even since the first day, the guys have been extremely welcoming, bringing me in, obviously, one of the new ones, even though I'm a little older than most. But yeah, it's been, nothing short of great being able to play in my home state for a final year of college hockey.
Anyone have questions for Benton Mast? Kevin Dudley?
Benton, the penalty kill is something coach stressed, before the Lake State series is something he wanted to improve. You're obviously a major part of that PK, and the PK was dynamite last weekend. Talk about what you thought made it so successful at Lake State.
Yeah, I mean, Nader and Paulie do a really good job of coaching us up every week, giving us a lot of clips on the opposition on their power play of what to expect week in and week out. And I think that was one area that moving forward we had to shore up a little bit. We were definitely able to do that last week, and I think a lot of the times it's a mindset of being aggressive on the penalty kill and not allowing other teams to set up. And I think we did a really good job of that. Our forwards were able to be really successful up ice with disrupting the play. And that allows, the defensemen to stay up and, not allow teams to set up in their zone. And I think that's the one thing that we kind of tweaked a little bit this weekend, and it allowed us to be really successful.
Daniel Mack, you're up.
Hey, Ben, do you want to talk a little bit about how you've kind of progressed as a player, improved your game in your short time as being a Maverick? Yeah,
definitely. I think the coaching staff here, from the moment I went into the transfer portal and they started recruiting me, they kind of, had a vision for what I could bring to the program. And, from day one, I think that's something that we've been working on. I always see myself as a solid two-way defenseman. And I think this year I've, tried to been a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end, chip in there when I can. But at the same time, I'm out there to play defense, and I pride myself, having a really good stick, having good gaps coming through the neutral zone, being able to shut down plays before they get near our net. And I think those are the big things that I continue to, just work on day in and day out.
Tim Rapoli, do you have a question for Benton?
I do. Hey, Benton, can you talk about differences between your impressions of the CCHA as opposed to Hockey East, starting with the 10-hour bus ride? I don't think you had those at UNH, but maybe you can just draw some comparisons between the leagues.
Yeah, no, none of the long bus rides out east. But I think the leagues are definitely a little different. Playing a lot of the Boston schools out there, they're a little bit more of a run and gun style of team versus here. I think it's more of, defensive minded teams. It's a lot hard nosed play. I think that's the main difference that I've seen so far. When you're playing in the CCHA, it doesn't matter who you're playing. You're gonna see a team that's pretty detailed in both ends of the ice, and not just teams that are looking to transition right to offense, not really looking to play defense as much.
Anyone have another question for Ben before we let him go? Kevin Dudley.
Ben, talk about the resolve your team showed last Saturday. I know there were a ton of guys out sick, but some guys playing sick. What did it mean to get that win, given the circumstances you guys had to play under?
Yeah, no, it was definitely a tough weekend on some fronts. But at the same time, Coach always preaches that we have our depth for a reason. And going into last weekend, especially Saturday, every single guy in that locker room was confident. It didn't matter who was going to put the jersey on. Everyone was going to be confident in who we had going out there. And I think Coach just preached that at the same time, we might not have had some of our guys there, but that's just opportunities for other guys to step in and fill roles that they've been trying to all year. And I think you saw that a lot of both games this weekend. And I think we were pretty happy with, obviously being able to split with the win on Saturday after not getting exactly what we wanted on Friday. And I was happy to, see some guys be successful on the weekend. You look at a guy like Tanner Edwards gets his first goal and he debuted this weekend. Steve Bellini had an extremely successful weekend debuting. was cool for him, especially being, you know, from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, which is right across the border there. So I think he had a really successful weekend. I was extremely happy for guys. Keenan Rancier obviously kept us in it on Friday night as well and played really well in his first game. So it was good to see those guys get rewarded.
Tim, you have a last question if you have one. Okay, that wraps it up. Thanks, Benton. Appreciate it. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, PA.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
All right. See you next time.